Ciao Fabri!
Hello guys!
We are back. It was an intense week again. Transfer market now is everywhere. We are here and new Real Madrid manager, Carlo Ancelotti, and many more things happen.
The big domino has started.
Here we go.
The Here We Go podcast is excited to introduce Skrill, our official sponsor and the payments app for money movers and money makers. With the Skrill app, you can pay online, send money, and buy and sell cryptocurrencies all in a few taps. It's quick, easy, and there is no need to rely on your bank. Depending on where you live, you can get a Skrill card too. The card will be delivered straight to your home address and gives you instant access to your balance in stores, online, or as cash at ATMs. Search for Skrill, spelled Skrill, and download the app today.
So let's start with Antonio Conte.
Yes, it's the big news today. Let's explicate that it's not a done deal or agreed yet, but Tottenham are contacted many managers, as we said. They had a contact with Pochettino some days ago, but Paris Saint-Germain are still in the same position. Pochettino is not leaving the club. If he doesn't do like a statement, a public statement saying I want to leave Paris Saint-Germain, he is staying at Paris Saint-Germain. So that's why Tottenham have open talks also with Antonio Conte. They have a list, they are talking with different managers, and they are talking also with Antonio Conte. They're discussing about the potential contract, the salary, but in particular the project. So what's the project? If Tottenham want to win immediately or in a long-term project, what kind of new signings Tottenham want to do. So they're discussing about the details of the project. Let's see what Antonio Conte will answer. Let's see if Tottenham will think that Conte is the right man or not. But they are discussing right now about money, about contract, and about project. Let's see, because Pochettino is still among the candidates, but Paris Saint-Germain are saying that he's not going anywhere. So let's see what happens. But for Tottenham job, I think in the next days it will be clarified, yes.
And let's talk about Manchester United now, because there is also some updates about Jadon Sancho you want to give?
Yes, to complete about Tottenham, I just want to say that Joachim Andersen is still the first target as centre-back. Yeah. Then we will see who will be the manager and they will decide together. And talking about Manchester United, for sure Jadon Sancho, we're receiving millions of messages. I want to say in the next days we will have some update, some I would say important update to understand the situation. But at the moment, Borussia Dortmund are still on the same page with Jadon Sancho and Erling Haaland. So they are convinced that Haaland is staying. Only crazy bids to move Haaland or he's staying this summer. And talking about Sancho, they are prepared to sell him if a club will offer around 95 million euro. From Liverpool, there is nothing at the moment like proposal or advanced contract for Sancho. So if they don't sell a star, they are not going to sell Sancho this summer. Manchester United are still looking at the situation. They have an interest in Sancho, we know since many months.
Yeah,
but
since last year.
But Sancho is always in the list of Manchester United, and in the next days I think we'll have some update, because at the moment there is still no negotiation, but Sancho is always in Manchester United list.
And Heaton, done deal to...
Tom Heaton is a done deal, yes, as a free agent. He's joining for 2 seasons with one more option in the contract. The agreement has been completed. I think in the last week of June he will have medicals, he will complete his move, and he will sign a contract as new Manchester United goalkeeper, so it's a done deal.
Hey guys, we'd like to welcome our newest sponsor to the platform, Manscaped. These guys have been transformed male grooming in the US and UK for years now, and they want to show you that the painful shaving is a thing of the past. Their Lane Mover 4.0 is the latest in male grooming technology and will guarantee the smoothest shave of your life. They also have the most comfortable underwear on the market, so comfortable you won't want to change them. Make sure you use our code HEREWEGO to get the 20% off and free shipping on anything you order. And now let's talk about Real Madrid, because yesterday was a crazy day. One of the craziest days already in this transfer window, because from 1 second to the other, Carlo Ancelotti became the new Real Madrid manager.
Yes.
We were not expecting that. Congrats to Marca, to Jose Felix Diaz, who broke the story yesterday morning, and that was unbelievable to see Ancelotti back at Bernabeu after 6 years now.
Yes, the agreement has been announced. Today Ancelotti will speak as new Real Madrid manager. It was a big surprise also for Ancelotti. He was not expecting, like 5 or 6 days ago, the call from Florentino Perez. The call was 6 days ago from Real Madrid to Carlo Ancelotti. He decided to say yes like immediately. It's an amazing opportunity to come back at Real Madrid, with all respect to Everton, but he always wanted to have this kind of chance again, and that's why he accepted to go to Real Madrid. Pintus will be back in the club,
yes,
part of the staff with Ancelotti. Davide Ancelotti, his son, will be part of the staff too. Arbeloa, as revealed by Marca, will be part of the staff. So they are preparing everything. They are starting something new with Ancelotti, and the agreement is for 3 years with a salary around €6 million net per season. Ancelotti is ready to start.
He's already there at Madrid.
He needs to decide on many things. So it will be a busy summer for Ancelotti, a busy summer for Real Madrid. Talking about managers for Real Madrid, Pochettino was a real option. They were talking with people close to him to understand the situation. Antonio Conte from Italy, someone said pole position, agreement clause, negotiation. Antonio Conte has been never in touch with Real Madrid. It's normal to think to Antonio Conte because he's free, he's available, okay, but never been like call, contacts, agreement clause, nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about one of the things that Ancelotti needs to do in the next weeks, the next days, is talk with Sergio Ramos, probably, because that's another situation that's very unsure for the future. We don't know what will happen with him.
Yes, so. And the next step will be like a direct talk in the next hours, I would say, between Sergio Ramos and Carlo Ancelotti to decide together. Sergio Ramos is still on the same position. He wants the right proposal, or he's leaving Real Madrid. And so having Ancelotti maybe changes the situation, because they
had a great relationship. Yeah,
there's a strong relationship, so they will talk in the next hours, and we will see what Ramos will decide. Lucas Vázquez is staying with a contract of 3 years, so he's extending the contract with Real Madrid, and it was not true about AC Milan, and was nothing with Bayern. Only option for him was something in England, but he decided to stay at Real Madrid. And let's see also what Everton now will decide for the new manager, because they have a long list with many options. Some mention from England about Steven Gerrard, that is true, but he's not at the first position of the list, so they will decide.
Also for him, going to Everton will be crazy.
Yes. Also, let's see in the next days what Everton will decide. They want to decide and to plan for the right man for the job.
They were surprised, probably.
It was a shock with Ancelotti, so they need to plan for something new project. Also with the players, in some minutes we're going to talk about Moise Kean, but with many players they need to decide. Also the players didn't know about the situation of Ancelotti. They were really surprised yesterday. So let's see what happens in these days, but Everton are planning with the director Marcel Brands to rebuild with a new manager.
And so now let's go to Barcelona, the other side of Spain. Because it was an intense week also for Barcelona Transfers. They announced 3 players in 3 days now in this week already. So it's already a lot of things are happening. And starting with, of course, Sergio Aguero, who was announced on Monday.
Yes.
Yesterday was the day of Eric Garcia, and today was the day of Emerson. So you want to start from Emerson, because there were also rumors about him for potential other bids from other countries also.
Yes, let's see if a proposal will arrive in the next weeks, what happens. But Emerson now is a Barcelona player. They have an agreement, official agreement with Betis to re-sign him, so he's back in Barcelona. His price is around €25 million. So if an important proposal will arrive, Barcelona will think about Emerson leaving the club this summer. But at the moment he's part of the team, so they're happy with him, and it depends by the proposal. It's normal in football in this moment to decide and see what happens with the proposals. And also talking about free agents, to give an update about Wijnaldum, always the same position as last week. So verbal agreement has been reached, 3 years contract. There is the possibility of needing the medicals in the Dutch national team camp, sending the medical staff of Barcelona to complete the medicals with the national team. But Wijnaldum is joining Barcelona, so it's just a matter of time, of when and not if, because Wijnaldum will play for Barcelona.
And Depay?
And the big update about Memphis Depay in these hours is that they are still in talks with these agents. Barcelona are talking, Barcelona are pushing. They are discussing over a 2 or 3 years contract. So they're talking about the details of the contract, money, salary, commission, and everything. Let's see what happens, because it also depends by the future of Ronald Koeman.
Exactly.
So they are, I won't say in the same position, but Depay wants to understand what's happening with Koeman. So once they will decide 100% on Koeman, Depay will decide.
And now looks like he's more closer to stay than leaving.
Talking with people close to Koeman in the last 24 hours, they are getting confident. Also looking at what Laporta said, yesterday there was a meeting with Alemani and people in the club, so they're getting confident. It's normal that when day by day there are no news, no updates, he's getting confident, and I can say again that Koeman has no intention to resign from his contract. Also, if Laporta is doing some statement that he's not so happy,
yes,
but
like
Koeman
the one of last
is
week. Yeah.
not resigning. He's not resigning. He has an important contract, and he wants to continue with Barcelona. And Koeman is convinced, this is what people close to Koeman say, he's convinced is that he's staying at Barcelona. He could win with this season. He can win something important, because 1 year ago, he wanted Eric Garcia, and Eric is coming. He wanted Wijnaldum, and Wijnaldum is coming. He wanted Depay, and Depay is one step away or so close to join Barcelona. So now his Barcelona is coming, and that's why Koeman is so confident. Let me say soon updates about Leo Messi, because I always say here, Barcelona are really, really confident to extend his contract.
Yeah, we followed the old Messi story pretty well here, because I mean last year was different. Then we said also that Will Laporta was probably the only president who could change his mind.
Yes.
And now that looks like he's closer to stay.
Yes, they are talking on a 2 years contract, but Barcelona are really, really confident to complete everything in the next weeks. Also because from Barcelona side, they know that Messi wants to stay, and that his father also is now open to negotiate on the last details. So work in progress.
That's a big difference from last year.
Work in progress.
Okay, let's move to Chelsea, because we did a quick episode after the Champions League finals. We already talked about the Champions League final. Congrats again to Chelsea. What a journey with Tuchel. And let's start with Tuchel. So Tuchel, he's staying, and he's probably extending the contract also.
Yes, Tuchel is staying. The contract is almost ready and will be announced soon, but Tuchel is staying at Chelsea. New contract for 3 years, so agreement done, was part of the agreement with Chelsea. So Tuchel is extending the contract. Thiago Silva also, verbal, everything done, so they just need to sign in the next hours or days, but Thiago Silva is staying for 1 more season at Chelsea. Let's see what happens with the timing of Kanté new contract, because in this case there is no rush. There are the Euros, so he has 2 years contract left on his contract. So that's what they have, no rush, and they have amazing relationship with Kanté, with his agent, so they will discuss at the right moment.
How can you not?
Yes, but they will in the next months, I would say. It's not like imminent. It's not like a matter of hours, but they will go in the next months to discuss with N'Golo Kanté.
And there are also players leaving. Also,
Yes.
we have to mention that, because Fikayo Tomori now is set to stay at AC Milan for.
Yes, I would say that he's 100% staying at AC Milan. So it's just a matter of saying. We'll see when AC Milan will decide to pay, if they can find an agreement maybe on paying this fee is 28 million euro, 28.5 million euro, if they want to pay in many years, if they can find an agreement with Chelsea or not. But Fikayo Tomori is staying at AC Milan. Yes.
And that was, we always said here that they always had a great impression of him since he arrived in Milan last January, also on the pitch, but also off the pitch. So that's
Yes. But
in January it seemed a lot of money, to 28 million euros. Now it seemed like a bargain to.
Yes, also
to
because he had a great impact with the fans, with the city, with the club, with everyone involved in AC Milan. So he's really so happy. And talking about AC Milan and Chelsea, AC Milan are talking with Olivier Giroud. They have a meeting scheduled with these agents to talk about a potential contract. Let's see if 1 year contract with 1 more of option or 2 years contract. So they are discussing about the contract details. But Olivier Giroud is seriously thinking about moving to Italy.
And so how many times he was close to Italian football?
He was 1 step away from joining Inter with Conte, Lazio too, and Juventus last summer. Many options, but now it seems really a good opportunity for him to join AC Milan. They are going to talk with him in the next days, and let's see if they can find an agreement.
Talking about Chelsea, there are updates in the midfield you wanted to talk about.
Yes, because Declan Rice is still on the list of Chelsea. So I can confirm that they are still in talks with people close to Declan Rice. He was one of the first targets for Frank Lampard, now there is Tuchel, but the club are still thinking of moving on Declan Rice. Let's see what West Ham will answer about the price. So we're still at the start of the talks, but Chelsea are still thinking on Declan Rice as potential new signing as midfielder. There is still no agreement, still nothing advanced, but in the list there is the name of Declan Rice still inside. Yes.
Talking about Manchester City, that even if they lost the final, of course the transfer window will be still open, so we have to talk about them. First with Fernandinho.
Yes, because now we'll discuss with Fernandinho his agents to extend the contract for one more season. So Manchester City in the next days hope to complete everything and will decide together with Fernandinho. So also looking at this, what he wants to do, if he wants to continue or not. But the feeling is really optimism around Fernandinho to extend the contract. And the big one is the striker, because yesterday from Manchester City, ownership, the message was so clear. They want to spend money, they want to invest, they want to continue with this project, and it means that they are going for a striker. So they want to go for a striker, and Harry Kane is still the big name, because let's see what happens with Tottenham. Now we're going to discuss in some minutes about Tottenham manager situation.
Yes.
But talking about Harry Kane, he's still on the same point. He wants to leave the club. He wants to leave to join an English club, because from other clubs are not received anything yet. So it's for English clubs, and Manchester City want really to try to sign Harry Kane this summer. Let's see, will be complicated because, as we always say, Daniel Levy is still on the same point. Now he's busy with the situation of the manager of Tottenham.
Yes.
And the price of Harry Kane will be crazy, so not an easy
But their
combination.
position is always the same.
But Harry Kane is always saying to Tottenham that he wants to go and he wants to play Champions League football, and Manchester City want to try. So in the next weeks, this Kane situation will be part of the topics, because for sure they want to try. The Here We Go podcast is partnered with Skrill to bring you exclusive football content for free. Go to skrill.com/herewego to find football stories I've shared only with Skrill. Don't forget to bookmark the page. I will be sharing lots more in the coming months.
Let's talk about Arsenal now, because there are some updates. One is about the goalkeeper situation. There is the situation of Onana, the goalkeeper from Ajax, that needs to be discussed. You want to talk about it? There is an ongoing situation about him.
Yes, that is to see what happens with the suspension, because this will be key to understand if Arsenal will proceed to sign him, how much will be the price of the player. So they need to wait on the suspension. He was discussing his ban today in court with Ajax today. Let's see what will be the final decision for the suspension, but UEFA are still on the same position, so
but
1
Arsenal
year
are
suspension.
interested in him.
But Arsenal are interested because if the situation would change, they want to try. They are in touch with his agents. He was close to join Arsenal in January. They were in talks with his agent in January. Now the situation is still on the table, because they are seriously considering to move for Onana, and he's a serious target for Arsenal. No chance for Wojciech Szczesny. A lot of rumors, Roma, Arsenal, not true. And talking about Arsenal, just to clarify about Guendouzi, there's a lot of questions. Olympique Marseille are working to complete the deal, so negotiations are progressing, and the deal could be completed soon for Guendouzi. Xhaka, still talks open with Roma, not done deal yet, but talks ongoing. And Coutinho, because of rumors from Spain, he is not a target for Arsenal this summer in this moment.
Okay, talking about Liverpool now. There are some updates about Liverpool that you wanted to...
Yes, first of all, a lot of rumors about Bissouma. Just to clarify, Bissouma is a fantastic player for Brighton. He is one of the players in the list of Arsenal, but he's not at the first position for Arsenal. And talking about Liverpool, they were scouting him because they consider him like an interesting player for the future, but there are no bids, no negotiation for Liverpool, and so at the moment he's not like the main target. They are not working to sign Bissouma. Scouting a player is one thing, signing a player is another thing, and they are not working on signing Bissouma.
Origi is going.
Origi could leave the club, yes. He's one of the players that's in the list to leave the club. Let's see if in a proposal around 20 million euro could arrive, but he's one of the players who could leave the club. And Liverpool fans are always asking about Mbappe because they dream of Mbappe, obviously, but at the moment there is no chance to see Mbappe. No chance. As of today, no chance.
And talking about Paris Saint-Germain, because Mbappe is still a Paris Saint-Germain player, there are a lot of rumors this week. The main is about Achraf Hakimi, the right back, right wing, I would say, from Inter Milan. and they are talking with the club.
Yes, for Hakimi there are negotiations going on between Inter and Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain have made a value of the player around 60 million euro. Inter want 80 million euro for Achraf Hakimi, so they will negotiate. Keep an eye also on Chelsea, because Chelsea have been in touch with people close to Hakimi and also with Inter to understand the situation. They want this kind of player. Also, Adama Traoré is in the list, as Motlow reported on the last days. But Hakimi for Paris Saint-Germain is one of the main targets. So they are working on Hakimi and they hope to reach an agreement with Inter in the next week. So keep an eye on Hakimi, because he could be one of the players set to leave Inter this summer. But Inter want 80 million euro to sell Achraf Hakimi. Talking about Paris Saint-Germain and talking about Everton again after Ancelotti situation, it will be key to understand who will be the new manager to decide about Moise Kean, because Moise Kean is coming back to Everton after his loan spell at Paris Saint-Germain. But Paris Saint-Germain want him back on loan. So there is no proposal for 40 million euro, as I see around fake news. No proposal to sign him on a permanent deal for 40, 45. Not true. Paris Saint-Germain are discussing with Everton on a potential another season of loan. So simple loan for one more season. Let's see what Everton will answer, because they always wanted like 50 million euro to sell Moise Kean or nothing. But Ancelotti wanted Kean out. Yeah. Ancelotti was prepared to sell Moise Kean. Now, with the new manager, we'll see what Tottenham will decide. What Everton will decide. Maybe he says, okay, I want to keep the player, or just sell him permanent and not on loan.
So now probably they want to decide the manager first and then discuss.
The priority is the manager, and then they will discuss with Paris Saint-Germain. But Paris Saint-Germain hope to have Kean on loan for one more season. The Here We Go podcast is excited to introduce Skrill, our official sponsor and the payments app for money movers and money makers. With the Skrill app, you can pay online, send money, and buy and sell cryptocurrencies all in a few taps. It's quick, easy, and there is no need to rely on your bank. Depending on where you live, you can get a Skrill card too. The card will be delivered straight to your home address and gives you instant access to your balance in stores, online, or as cash at ATMs. Search for Skrill, spelled SKRILL, and download the app today.
And to end this episode, Wolverhampton are close to sign the new manager.
Yes, Bruno Lage is the front runner since the day they sacked Nuno. They are in talks with Bruno Lage. This is the first option. They have an agreement on his contract. They are just waiting for the work permit to be considered, and then he will be the new manager of Wolverhampton. So has never been in doubt. Just need to wait some days to complete everything. If the work permit will be considered, he will be new manager.
Talking about Portugal, you broke a story yesterday. It was very interesting about Sergio Oliveira and Corona. They are in talks with Fiorentina. Yes,
Fiorentina want both of them because Sergio Oliveira is an amazing midfielder. Yes. He was having a fantastic Champions League time this year also.
Against Juve.
He scored against Juve also, yes. And Sergio Oliveira is the main target at the moment of Fiorentina. Rino Gattuso wants to do with him the same he did with Fabian Ruiz, so playing with two in midfield with Amrabat and Sergio Oliveira. This is his dream. Now we need to find an agreement. Fiorentina need to find an agreement with Porto. The value is around 20 million euro. They are negotiating with some add-ons to arrive to this money. Let's see, but Sergio Oliveira is the main target for Fiorentina, and they are also negotiating for Jesus Corona. Tecatito is the player that Gattuso wants. He was working with Lozano, Mexican player. Now Corona could be an opportunity. He's out of contract in 1 year, so that's why Fiorentina are pushing for both. Sergio Oliveira, priority, and then Jesus Corona, opportunity.
Would be interesting to see Gattuso at Fiorentina if he buys these players.
Some Serie A updates now.
Some Serie A updates because there are some important
and
news.
La Liga also.
And La Liga. But let's start with Mkhitaryan, because Mkhitaryan will stay at Roma for one more season. It's official.
Yes, and Zenit were trying to sign him, contacted people close to the player, Mino Raiola, if he was a free agent, and they were ready to try. But Mkhitaryan extended his contract with Roma one more season.
Despite his issues with Jose Mourinho in the past at Manchester United.
But he's staying, and Mourinho's been so smart to say, okay, he's a key player for us here at Roma. Let's start together with something new. That's it.
Alvaro Morata, Juventus will keep him for one other season, right? They had an option last year in the contract to keep him for one more season, and they decided.
Yes, they're gonna pay 10 million euro to Atletico Madrid. It's not done yet because they need to complete with Atletico Madrid all the paperwork and everything. But yes, they will in the next days. And talking about Atletico Madrid, The bid for Rodrigo De Paul is serious, 20 million euro and Neuen Perez as part of the deal. So they want to try to sign Rodrigo De Paul. He's always been one of the favorite targets for Simeone. He loves this player. He's really amazing. De Paul is an amazing player. And Atletico Madrid are trying, but also Italian clubs are in the race. So it's still open. Udinese said no to 20 million euro and Neuen Perez. They want around 40 million euro to sell De Paul. Let's see what happens.
So during the transfer window, we usually do what's the latest news you got on the phone. But I know this one already because I was here while you got it. So you want to say something about two Italian clubs that want a player?
Yes, he's a young talent from Toulouse in France. He's Antist. He's a striker, 18, scoring some goals in
7 goals in 3 games.
Is incredible. If you imagine how young he is, he's 18. And Atalanta, always with a top project, top young players, they are working on this deal and they want Antist. But also Torino are in talks with people at Toulouse just to understand if it's possible to sign him. So Antist, top talent, Atalanta and Torino interested. Let's see, but keep an eye on this guy.
He will be out of contract in 2022. He has one more year of contract.
Yes, and from Toulouse, a lot of interesting players are coming. And imagine that Moussa Kone now is moving to Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yes.
So good luck to this young player, and let's see if he will come in Italy.
Thank you, Fabri. See you next week. Ciao.
Bye.